Hello everyone. In previous video we explained how to set up the drawing area, the units and drawing area. Now in this video I'm going to explain a few basic things that we need to know before going or dive into the commands and drawing in an engineering way. Because while drawing we may face a lot of problems, so how to manage those things while drawing, we have to have some pre-knowledge before typing, before drawing anything. Now the things that we have to know. Now we said that the mouse, we have left click, right click, and the middle one, which is the wheel. Now the left click, as I explained in my videos, left click basically appears the yellow color, the red color. For example, if I click somewhere, you will see fading a yellow, a blue color, and then the red one is for right click. The red one is for right click. Now each of those click, they have something depending on the area. If you click somewhere here, it's going to activate the icon. If I right click here, it's going to give me some options. So mainly right click, anywhere that you click, it's going to give you option to the place that you click. For example, if I right click somewhere here, it's going to give me something related to that one. Right click somewhere here, it's going to give me something related to that part. Options to that place that I right click. Right click inside here, it's for the command line. Now anywhere that you right click, it's going to give you, sometimes right clicks that don't work, sometimes works, but somewhere that does not work, sometimes works. So anywhere that you right click, it's going to give you options toward that area that you clicking. Now the right click will be used for some purposes, but mainly we use left click. Now we said that the cursor in the beginning is by itself, nothing is active. We call it in the ready state. It's ready state when there is a small square in the middle of the cursor. When something is activated, for example, I'm clicking something, now the square will disappear, and then means that something is active. Now clicking here will follow. Now left click here follows. Click, it means input here. A click means input. Now first I'm going to talk about nothing is active. Why? Because when we start with this each command, we're going to again explain the left click there, right click there for each of those commands. Now nothing is active. Left click is going to activate something. There is an area, going to the, it's going to be to the left, so there is a green. Going to the right is going to be blue area. Now those we call them window selection and cross selection. Now the green one, you check the edge of this green area, it's a dot, dashed line. We call this one cross selection. This one they called window selection. One of them green, one of them blue. Now what are those? We're going to use them a lot. Now let's say we draw something. You can draw, click anywhere and you're going to draw anything, yes? This is not engineering drawing, just simple drawing. Press escape, you have this drawing, yes? Now, how would you be able to delete those things on the screen? Press delete, nothing happened. Why? Because AutoCAD required something before deleting, which we call selection. So whatever you want to delete, you have to select it and then delete that object. So you can just simply press delete on the keyboard. I'm pressing delete. Look, I'm not sure if you hear the sound. Nothing happens. Why? Because I haven't selected anything. Now selection is where these two stand for. This one and this one. Look, I'm not pressing anything. Just left click in somewhere. Nothing is active. Left click. Just left click. Don't press it. It's going to be to the left. It's green. To the right is blue. If you press, if you click left, left click and press it, you still have this green one, but it is somehow irregular shape. I can do the other way as well, round. But this is basically going to give us the green one. I mean, if you just press it, you're going to see the green one. I mean, this is required for some places, but for now, do not hold it. Just click, I mean, release the click, and you have this green and this blue one. Now, those are for selection. Just remember this one. Both of them for selection. I mean, those two are for selection. Press escape. Now, let's talk about selection here. I mean, why? Because those are, you may need them. Why? Because you made a mistake. What do? You're not going to just close this one and open another one. No. You can simply click on the line. This is a selection. Now, press escape will be deselected. Click, you see selection, yes? Click on the other one, that's also will be selected. Click on the other one. So you can select multi-objects. So look, I have to select all of the lines and then press delete. There was remain and another delete. Yes, Control Z will bring back what we Control Z. It's, and instead of, let me bring Control Y. Let's say we made a mistake. Yes, there is an undo here, or you can just simply use Control Z. Undo, it's going to bring back what you did. One step, bring it back. And then redo, and basically it goes something that you made, you brought it back by mistake. You can just click on the redo, it will take it one step forward. All those can be done on the keyboard. So it's pretty, I mean, keyboard is much easier to do this thing. Control Z, it's undo. Control Y is redo. So Control Z, Control Y, I can bring it back. Control Y, Control Z, I can bring it back. Those two, Control Z, Control Y, stand for redo and undo. Now, imagine you have a lot of lines on the screen. Well, you realize that it's not easy to go and delete or select one by one, yes? I mean, it takes a lot of time for me to select one by one all of these, and then I want to delete them. So I have to have another way of selection which comes with the two selection. Nothing is active. Now, what are the difference between those two selection? I'm clicking in the middle. Now, if I go to the left side, we call this one cross selection. Now, whatever is inside the window, all, it will be crossed, it will be cut by the edge, will be selected. Let's explain this one. Let me just delete all of them. Explain this one in a simple manner. Let's say I have a line here. Now with the green one, if I just cut this line is enough. You don't need to put the line inside the shape. No, just cut the line, it will select it for you. But with the blue one, it does not work. So what is the difference between them? The green one, whatever will be inside the area or will be cut by one of the sides will be selected. Look, this line has been cut by the edges, by the dash line, will be selected. But the blue one only work when all the object is inside the area. Look, it's only select the object if all over the inside. So this is useful for what? Let's say I have two. For example, let's say that I want to just delete this one. Yes, delete this one. Now with the green one, I have to just cut this one. Yes, that's possible like this. Okay, I don't want to cut the other one. I can just only select this one. With the blue one, look, now which one will be selected? Only the one that is completely inside the area. Now this will be much clearer later. I mean, which one is useful, for which purposes we're going to use it. It is specific. Sometimes it's useful to use this one. For example, look, now two things will be highlighted. Why? Because those are, I mean, now the other two lines, look, those two lines also will be highlighted because all of them will be inside the blue area. But if they are not completely inside the blue area, will not be selected. Only those two will be selected. But the green one, if I just cut them, that's enough. Look, just cut them. Look, I cut all of the line. That's enough. All of them will be selected. So this is for the fast selection. You can just simply select the things that just will be cut. Will be cut by that will be enough. Just cut them. Make sure that all of them has been cut by the edge. No need to be completely inside it. And just one more click, that's going to be a fast selection. So nothing is active. One click here, I can do it like this, all of it inside it. Another click, and then simply press delete. Control Z, I can use the other way around. Click here and select, put all of the drawings inside the blue area, but this is, you need bigger area. Another click, all of them will be selected, press delete. Those will be useful while working in, and a simple set. No need for all of them. You can just simply click and delete. That's also possible. For example, just simply like this. Look, what I do, just draw the dash one, I mean the green one, simply just to cut those two and delete it. For example, here I'll just cut it like this, delete them. Those, you'll get used to them, don't worry. I mean, for the beginners, since we're drawing simple shapes, you may not need those, but sometimes happen to students. Sometimes by mistake they click. If you see this one on the screen, do not just do like this. Do not just try to get rid of this one. By the mouse, just press escape to get rid of that one. Or just simply click. Another click is going to get rid of it. For example, it's active, another click will get rid of that selection things. So those will be useful while working with the drawing. Remember, the zoom is always useful, the wheel. And something else, let's say you draw something. Let's say I draw something like this. Now, I wanted to adjust this to the screen. Now, I can use the zoom out. This is zoom out and zoom in. But still, now, for example, I want to bring it to the center. Yes, it's not easy like this. So what easy way that I have to bring this one to the center? For example, it's here. I mean, we can press the wheel. It will be hand. Look, I can adjust the drawing to the middle of the screen for myself to see it. Now, another zoom in. I can just adjust it. Look, press the wheel. It will be hand. If you don't have the wheel, you can use this hand here, the pan. Then you can just simply do it here. I mean, I'm using left click here to press it this time. Why? Because it's a command. It's a command. I'm using pan here. I have to use left click to adjust it. And then if I want to get rid of this hand, I have to press escape. That's why if you have the mouse with the wheel, it's easier, because you just press the wheel, it will be hand, release it, the hand will go. But it does not mean that if you don't have the mouse with the wheel, you cannot work with it. You can have it here with this hand here, with the hand here, but this hand you have to use left click to manage it, and then you have to press escape to deactivate it. Another way, if you cannot see this one, there is right click. You can use pan as well. Look, in the right click you have undo as well, you have pan as well. Again, you work with the left click, you have to use left click. Then in order to get rid of this one, you have to press escape. This is also possible, but if you have the mouse with the wheel, why not use the wheel? Just press the wheel. It's going to be this one. It's going to be zoom in and zoom out. How do we do zoom in and zoom out without having the wheel? You have to right click, look, right click, and there is zoom. And you click on the zoom, the cursor changes to the zoom. You have to press on the like left click, but you have to press it and come down. Look, it's zoom out. Zoom in, I mean the way that you're pinching, if you use the tablets or those, you're pinching, zoom in, zoom out. Here you press it and you go up, is zoom. Look I mean, it's not easy to work without the wheel. Like, the wheel make this one for me much easier. Look how hard is it to zoom in, zoom out. Yes, this is possible to do it like this. I mean, this is more accurate because you can slowly zoom in and zoom out. There is another way. If I press escape, within the zoom here, also we can say zoom in, but this is a stage. It might not be what you wanted. So you have to zoom out, but it's not enough. With the wheel, you can manage this one. If the wheel even does not work, you still don't, that right click zoom, you have it there. You click somewhere in the top, you come down, zoom out. You click somewhere down, you go up, it's zoom in. Those are techniques that gradually you have to get those techniques and improve them in order to be efficient while drawing. Don't worry, this will be with you throughout all the semester. Those zooms, using the pen, using the wheel, so we'll get used to them gradually. Now, What else is important in the beginning? Okay, let's set some rules here. Within those that I need you to activate them. I need you to activate them always, to make sure those are activated in the beginning, at least for now. Now the first one, I mean, doesn't matter. This grid mode, if it's just only the lines, make sure, I mean, it's okay to be off and on, I don't care about them. But the second one, the snap mode, make sure it's off. So remember this one. Whenever you open, for example, you set your units, if you don't know anything about these things, follow this, the default one, but make sure this is off. I need you to make this one is off, because this is something, it is making a lot of problem for student. Look, for example, look at the mouse, how it's can you see that it's only following the grid line? Yes. Now I cannot click somewhere. For example, I want to click on this, I want to start at this part, I cannot click on that line. I cannot click on the end of the line. Why? Who is responsible for this one? This is the second one. So make sure it's off. Make sure this is off. I mean, one left click, make sure it's off. Now, there is something, I will talk about this one in the next, when we start with live. Now, what else is important in the beginning to be on? This one here, object snap, make sure it is on. Make sure it is on. I mean, the rest of them, even if they are off, it's okay. This is dynamic input. You may not see this one, so I will explain this one in the next video. What does this do? I mean, let's make it off, but we have to on. This is very important. Sometimes we have to turn it off, sometimes we turn it on, but most of the time we need to be on. So 3 things here. Do not go for this scaling here. Leave those annotation skills, the other things, we're not going to talk about them. Up to here, for example, those commands, this is okay to be on and off, but the second one, make sure it's off for the starter. If you see this dynamic input, make sure it is on. If you don't see it, don't worry, I'm going to show it to you in the next session. Those are okay to be off, to be on. I mean, doesn't matter, but make sure this is on. If they are on, it's still okay. For example, this is on. If you on this one, the other one will be off. They are related to each other. I don't care about this one in the beginning, but we're going to teach it to you when we start line. When we start line, we're going to teach those things here, and we're going to explain to you, turn it off. But for the beginner, when you start, make sure this is off. Make sure this is on. The object snap is on. Make sure if you see this dynamic input, by default is on. By default is on. If it is not here, it means it's automatically is on. It's automatically on. The rest of them, do not touch them. If we need them, we'll come back to them and explain why we need those information. But this is important to be off, as I said. And this is important to be on, as I said. Well, there's something else. I'll leave this one. When it comes to the line, we'll explain it. Now for this video, that will be enough as well. The left click that we have it, the selection, the right click with things inside here, we may use them. And then we said anyway, right click is going to give you different options. Deleting needs a selection. Sometimes while you're doing practice, you made mistakes, so you can just simply press escape, select them and press delete. If you want a fast selection, we said those can be used, and press delete to delete them, and no need to close the screen and open another one. You don't need to do that one. You can just simply click everything there. I mean, there is another way. We call Control A. Control A, select everything. Control A, select everything, but be careful. Any drawing within here, not only the one that you see. For example, let's say I have multi drawings there. I mean, Control A is very critical. Some students, they use Control A. Control A is going to select, yes, yeah, but remember, it also select the others as well. So if you delete everything within this, drawing will be deleted. Remember, Control A, it's useful when you want to clear the screen. Everything you want to clear it, just simply Control A. You press the Control, you hold the Control and type, press A. It's going to select everything. Hit delete button on your keyboard. It's going to delete everything. Erase everything on the drawing. No matter where it is in the drawing, everything will be cleared out. Those are useful. Why? Because before going to the practicing on the engineering way of drawing things, you need those techniques in order to be able to move freely when you make mistakes, to undo them, redo them, delete them, start over, to zoom out. Sometimes you draw things you cannot see, you have to know how to zoom out, zoom in. So practice them. I mean, now you can practice those things with any shapes, it doesn't matter. In the next videos, we start with commands. We explain the commands. Then it will be useful for that part. Thanks for listening.